We're going to start by adding oil or butter to the baking pan, and this is going to help the Tater-Tatianas to keep from sticking to the pan, but also it's going to add a nice little darkening effect to the bottom of the Tatianas. Line the pan with a single layer of tater tots. We want to make sure that these cook thoroughly and evenly, and so you're going to do that by only making one solid layer and cooking them by the directions on the package. Once that's finished, we're going to put a layer of oil on top of the tater tots. This is going to help with the browning process, but it's also going to help the other ingredients to stick to the tots. Next, we're going to process our garlic, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut the top off so I can get to each of these garlic cloves. What you're not seeing is this took a significant amount of time. I'm really bad at processing garlic. I smashed each one of these so that I could peel that final membrane off of every single one of them, and then I put each of them through my garlic press that I just got because I'm so bad at cutting the garlic. We're then gonna add a little bit of oil onto this garlic, and then we're gonna spread the garlic over the top with a fork. We're just gonna make sure there's an even coating, but you don't want a giant mouthful of garlic on any given tot. And then we're gonna pop these in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. Next, we're gonna grate our cheese. I'm using a Parmesan, and I'm also using an Asiago for depth of flavor. We're not using pre-ground because that usually comes with a cellulose mixture that makes it a little bit harder to melt in the oven. Finally, we're gonna chop up our parsley, and the parsley is gonna add just a little bit of flavor, but also it's gonna add a little bit of color and just make them prettier. Once you pull them out of the oven, this is when we're gonna spread the cheese on the top. You want a very thin layer, so you don't want to bunch up too much cheese in any given spot, but we do want the cheese to be able to melt, and we want it to sort of harden and caramelize and almost get a little bit burny. The cheeses I'm using melt a little differently, so I added the Asiago first, and then I added the Parmesan on top of it. This is going to go back into the oven where it came from for another 5 to 10 minutes. Once you see those cheeses starting to darken and melt and the edges start to get a little brown, go ahead and pull it out of the oven. We're going to add our parsley on top. Once you've got a nice little helping for yourself, go ahead and salt them, and voila! We've got our Tater-Tatianas. Enjoy!